what's more important to you? If I'm going to lose connection or something's going to go wrong, I don't want to lose my wheel or my pedals because that's what makes me go. I can lose my screens, I can lose my audio controller, I can lose my monitor, my top monitor, or whatever. You know, well, monitors at USB, bad example. But you know what I'm trying to say. DDU,
Yeah.
Stream Deck,
I don't
anything.
I don't want to lose control of the car because of a fault. Hello and welcome to the Chicane Podcast, where we discuss all things in the sim racing world. I'm your host, Jason Rivera, and I'm joined here by Mr. Erick Kelly and Jeff Smart. How's everybody doing this week? How's it going?
Doing good, man. Ready to bring in Christmas season.
Oh, snap. Look at you.
Man. Somebody's ready to get
man.
into the holiday season. I like it, man. That's a killer shirt.
Yeah, man.
Hell
I'm good.
yeah.
Get this kind of stuff when you got a wife.
Well, it's great seeing you guys as usual. Great,
That's what's
great seeing
up,
you,
man.
gentlemen.
Anything exciting? Anything happened this week? Or I know a lot of stuff happened to me, so I'm ready to get into it. But I'm just checking in on you guys. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I get my little stuff out the way. So grab another podium today. Well, not today.
That's not
but,
little
this
stuff,
week.
man. Congratulations.
Yeah, and
In GT7, huh? Another podium.
Yeah, in GT7. Yep, and I'm far away from a podium in iRacing. Not to say I haven't been playing it, but
You haven't,
I have
dude.
to. I need a layup every now and then,
s-
just to keep my confidence going. Yeah, so I go to GT7.
Erick. I've been
But,
texting you, man. I was trying to tell you that the iRacing league that we spoke about a few episodes back, they have a new dude. They have a new M2 series that BMW is awesome. It's free.
Yeah, I drove it. It's
And
a beast.
you like it? Yeah, it's
it takes some work.
it takes some work, man, but it's probably
Yeah.
the best freaking free car you can buy, you can download or install or just get into right now. I mean, and
that's free for sure. Yeah.
51 cars were on grid.
Jeez.
51 cars we had on grid, bro. And we did a
Wow.
multi-class. So we had MX5 League, which is another free car. So if you like that one, you can jump into that one. And then you have the BMW. The BMW is obviously faster. I was in the chat with the boys and I was telling them, hey, why are you guys got these slow ass freaking Mazdas over here? Get them out the way. So it was funny, dude, because we had a Discord chat and it was all of us together and they said, we're making our own Discord room. Whoever's driving a freaking an MX5, jump over here. And we kind of separated. So
yeah, the MX5 is unforgiving. I drove a little bit.
Is that with Vlad?
That was with Vlad, yeah.
All right. Yeah,
that
I think
was with
you
Vlad.
commented on the video, the last video, if I remember correctly, seeing his name in there.
Well,
So,
Vlad was
shout
the
out
one that
Vlad.
suggested the track of the week.
Oh,
which
it was
we're
him.
not gonna
Okay.
reveal
Yeah.
yet.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, it was Vlad. So
Cool.
Yeah.
thank you, Vlad. And Erick, congratulations on the podium. Let me let you finish. I'm sorry, I got all excited. I just wanted you to come over, man. If this is a good league, guys. If you are worried about safety rating or having enough I rating to race against people, this is a strength of field that is way higher than your I rating because it's everyone together. It's all mixed together. There's actual real life instructors racing with us on track.
I need that. That goes to my discussion point that I have later on. But
it was so
we'll touch on that.
dope, dude. Yeah. I've been trying to get one of the guys to come over and do a little thing with us on the podcast. But we all jumped in a room and we all looked at incidents that happened on the race. And
it was a
stewarding. Yeah, it was a live, dude. I'm telling you guys, it's a live stewarding event. And guess where we raced? Alton Park. So I was already. I've been driving the shit out of Alton Park ever since we spoke about it. I've been trying to find the pennies, Jeff. I don't know. I was trying to find.
You said, just so everybody, like after last week's recording of Alton Park, it was like 10 minutes after we were done. Jason sends a picture out of of that corner where the two gallon
A
girl,
couple, a couple.
the gallon guy
Oh
were
yeah.
getting into it. He's like, I can't find them panties. It was so
I'm
funny.
trying to find the panties, bro. I
Oh, it
mean,
was so funny.
I just wanted to see if I could run over them or something. I don't know, but it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun, Eric. And to all
And
you
what's the name of the
listeners,
league again?
the league is IRL. I need to
Okay,
find
all right. Because
IRL.
I can join now since I'm on
You can
PC and
join.
and
You're
on
you're
iRacing.
you're.
Yeah.
Let me look up their Discord right now. Jeff, do you have anything for us, man? Global iRacing League, GIL. I was so off.
Yeah, it's cool. They got a little bit of everything. It's just I would definitely do it. It's just hard to for somebody with kids and going a million different directions to meet for their formula race that was like Wednesdays at 3 in the afternoon. For me, it just is a hard time. But they got
Oh man.
tons of stuff, dude. It's super cool,
I
squared
think
away league.
this one's at 4 o'clock, Jeff. So, and 4 o'clock is the qualifying. So as long as you make it, as long as the qualifying, as long as you make the race, you can do a late in, and it wasn't
Just
bad,
start in
dude.
the
It was
back or start from the pits.
30
Yeah,
minutes.
man.
It
That's
was an
cool.
Yeah.
11-minute sprint. No, an 11-minute sprint, I believe, and then we
Mhm.
did a 30-minute race, and that
Yeah,
was
it's
it.
cool how they have it set up, but
Yeah. So I
yeah,
can do that. I've joined some other leagues and it's a lot of, getting guys together and waiting around and it's not as tight. And to Jeff's point, when you got, little people that are like kind of clamoring for your time, it's hard to kind of just,
Hmm.
sit around when you're like, okay, I got an hour and it's like 30 minutes in, we're still trying to round guys up before we kick the race off. I'm like, mm-mm.
Yeah, these guys are on point, dude. These guys
Yeah,
are on track already. They're already on the Discord. They're already. If you're not there, bro, the
the
second that
races.
race
that
is,
race is
you're
going.
the race
Hey,
is
I like
going,
it.
and it's
I like it.
casual. So, like, for example, if you can't make it one week, they're not going to kick you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's meant to be casual like that because, yeah, I mean, not just kids, but people have other responsibilities. There's,
And stuff comes up
Yeah.
in life, right?
you got,
Yeah.
house or wife or kids or a second job, or
Just
you
you
got a
know.
podcast that you have to look after or something
Yeah,
like
man.
that. Any little thing. And I understand that it's hard to say yes to a certain time and day in the same day. But hey, man, if you find yourself and you have that time available, I would highly recommend looking at that because it's hard enough for us in Hawaii to find races anyway. When we do have the time, and then when we go in, it's mostly rookie races. So I get Jeff sending me stuff from F4 races. I'm pretty sure he'd rather be in an F1 race, or he'll rather be in an
Mhm.
SF23 race. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Or he's a B class, so he'd probably rather be in the B class. But you kind of get what you can take, right? I mean,
Yeah, and even
so
if I get into it, it's not a great time for the rest of the world, especially, bigger in Europe and, it's dead middle of the night for them. So, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and
But
then it's rookies, right? Your skills are different, but you're still racing with in a rookie,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean F4 is what is D class and anybody else that wants to get in it, right? That's just I think they push off a F4 every like 15 minutes.
right?
Uh yeah.
Which is cool, but and
Oh,
those
I'd much
grids are
rather
always,
get into a faster car. Sure, absolutely.
yeah.
So
So don't sleep on the BMW, Jeff, because the BMW
I
is,
have spun a couple laps with it, not gonna lie.
oh good.
I've got in there, put my settings, made a put the steering wheel settings to it. Yeah, absolutely. I've got in there. I've got in there, and it's weird, man.
Yeah.
Without driving a sports car class and just been strictly with Formula,
Mhm.
dude, it's like you're driving on ice
No,
skates.
no, it's different.
It's like
It's
Oh
you're
yeah.
very
driving on
different.
ice skates.
Yeah. That's
I'm
why I
like,
say
whoa,
make a man out of you.
that brake pedal ain't as reactive as my Formula brake pedal.
Oh yeah.
No,
But
dude.
it's still fun. It's still. I mean, it's all fun. So
Yeah.
And this car, for whatever reason, it eats through tires like crazy. Like we drove a 30-minute race, and 20 minutes into the race and my tires were completely done. And nobody was
Mm.
pitting, and I'm not about to be that one guy that pits. And yeah, so Very clean racing too, door to door.
Oh yeah,
Man,
that's really what I need.
very
Yeah,
clean, and we're all in the same chat. Everybody has a microphone. Everybody's
yeah,
talking. Everybody, you somebody bump you, they apologize,
yeah.
or the stewards. If even if you apologize or not, the stewards gonna look at that, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, and it's they got a whole spreadsheet with everybody's points and their incidents and what happened. And
Oh yeah,
if you race a few clean sessions and your points, your penalties kind of go away, they fade away. But if you're that guy, they might ban you or something. They don't want that in there. They're
yeah,
in there for pure
Clean racing.
and adrenaline, clean racing. Yeah.
Uh,
yeah. I
So
respect
anyway,
it.
Jeff, what about you, brother? What's up with you,
yeah,
man?
I've had a pretty good start to this new season. Like I said, we're not an iRacing podcast, but we do use iRacing.
I know we've been talking for like
Yeah,
10 minutes and
Nah,
it's
yeah.
straight.
I'll be quick, and then we can get on to the good stuff here. But I've had a I don't know where this driving came from, but I think I did 3 races this week,
Yeah.
in week 1, and I got, like, 2 podiums and a top
Yeah,
10.
man. That's what's
nice,
And
up.
I mean,
nice.
I've had podium, and I think I have 2 career wins and a number of podiums, but, I was like, "Where'd this come from?" On
Yeah,
a
That's what's
track
up,
I spent,
man.
like, 10 minutes on before, but I think it's just a lot of it has to do, especially in those F4s, of avoiding the first lap, shenanigans, and then just
yeah,
kind of keeping it clean. And if you go off a track, just get on quick again. Don't lose too many positions, but don't take anybody out. Don't get taken out. I think that helps tremendously. But I
yeah.
do have a question for you, fine gentlemen. I did notice a number of the updates. A lot of the debris was the easiest thing to notice. But my question is, I thought we
Mm.
were getting a new UI for iRacing. They showed those, the graphics and stuff that I thought we were getting in.
It's a planned release
Is it
for
coming out
early
later?
next year. Yeah, early next
Oh,
year.
it
Yeah,
is. Okay. All right. Well, that fair enough. Maybe I didn't read
And
the
a new
the
tire
fine
model.
detail.
Those are the two big ones, is the new tire model and the UI update.
yeah,
So
yeah. I
Just
feel
roll
like
it
they were
all at all
waiting.
one go, would you? iRacing, come
I
on.
know,
Well,
right?
I
Yeah.
feel
But
like
then
they're kind of slow rolling it because a set of courses coming out even,
No.
and
you think so?
so
I don't know, man. But you know what,
I
Eric?
think they're taking their time. There's no pressure for them to release it before that drops.
This
So
game or sim
yeah,
updates every season.
Yeah, every
So you're
14
yeah,
weeks.
you're guaranteed a massive update. Some sims don't see updates like that for months or even years. So I
yeah,
think we got to give them a little credit now. They're redoing tracks. They don't have to do that. They're redoing tracks with drones and all this stuff. They don't have to
yeah.
do that. That's a lot of money. We're talking I don't know how
Yeah,
much money.
I'm with
I
you,
mean,
but
they
then
they
don't put it
they
in the
charge.
season 14 release. Be like, hey, we have a
I think we should go
mid-season
back and read
14
that, Jeff.
release.
I'm pretty sure there
I'm
was some
sure it's in
fine
like
print.
the 2 point, the
It
point
was
5
probably like,
font at the
hey,
bottom. Be like, we will not guarantee that
coming
this all comes out at
soon.
once. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes out,
You'll be lucky to get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll take it and you'll like it. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of that's my week. Yeah. I
you
shouldn't have
pumped.
said anything. I shouldn't have said anything because now it's gonna go downhill. I'll be on next week being like, I don't know why I said it. It's been
Oh, it's a lot,
downhill.
bro.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been, you know,
This
haven't
you
even
can't
finished 2 races, but
you can't turn back.
you
You
can't take it back.
Yeah.
So we
can't
do it
take
Yeah,
one
it
you
back.
take
can't
all the
stop
way
now.
through.
One take, bro.
So
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's always good to hear. And Eric, congratulations on your GT7 win that we completely ignored. So, what was the race? Can we please go over? We just
No,
straight
so
up.
no, so we touched on it real quick. It was a Kyoto Park. I did
I
have
didn't
the
even hear
fastest
that,
lap
bro.
and
I was
clean race. But and I posted it on Facebook as well in I think
the
in one of the
setups.
Gran Turismo chats.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Gran Turismo 7 and Gran Turismo 7 over 30 chat for us old guys.
I need to find some of
Just
those.
a screenshot.
The over
Yeah.
30 group.
Yeah,
Oh
well,
my
I need
God.
the next one up, but
I
Yeah.
refuse. I
yeah,
refuse to do that.
the over 40
Got it.
crew.
Got to embrace it, man. Yeah, I turn 40 next year, so I have to
Hey
find me
man,
a new. Well, I can stay in that group, but
don't ever
find one where
apologize
I
for getting
can.
old. Privilege
Oh
denied to a lot
no,
of people.
That's not
exactly,
even
man.
old though. 40 is
Hey,
like
man.
that's nothing, bro.
Bro, my
That's
knees tell
right,
me
man. I'm
otherwise
still
in the
winning
morning.
races out here.
But you gotta take care. You gotta take care of yourself. That's the one thing. And
Yeah,
that's it's no longer an uphill battle, it's a downhill battle now. So, you got to take care of yourself. The
Yeah.
decisions that you make now matter. When you were 20,
Oh yeah.
it didn't matter what the hell
Oh,
it
that
is.
cheeseburger was getting crushed. Now it's like,
Oh, I'm
Cheeseburger,
telling
4 o'clock
you.
in the morning, go
yeah.
Yep.
go to the beach, hang out all day. Oh, we're not sleeping tonight, so we're just gonna keep
Oh yeah,
partying.
man. I'm into this
Oh
healthy
man.
eating, trying to fast,
Look.
do an 18-hour fast,
Now
and
we're
all this
like,
other stuff.
Hey.
Yeah,
shit, I messed up
Yeah.
today. Damn it.
getting old
I
sucks.
can't eat dinner now. I'm done.
I've
So I
been
guess I
there.
can't
Yeah.
eat dinner. That was
Hey,
my
you
dinner.
said you said something when you mentioned that sleep. That used to be, I was a night owl. Now I'm that's the biggest difference I notice. If I don't get that sleep, that next day is shot.
Well, I just finished building a new PC, and
You're not getting
Really?
any sleep.
sleep
Yeah.
is fucking overrated right now. However, I do have
Yeah.
updates for you guys,
Let's
which is gonna
go.
be it's gonna
Yeah.
be my portion of the show here.
Mhm.
Um, Here
Oh.
she is in all her
Mm.
glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Let me get we got to get the angles right.
Oh yeah.
So I have the sim running in the background. I wanted to kind of show that she works and rig is
Uh,
reacting to ignition, or maybe I should put it right here. How does that look? Yeah, right there.
There you go.
So it came in.
mhm.
I took my camera, guys, to DHL. I
Mhm.
recorded the lady. I opened the box, and she's like, "Do you want to do this in the car?" And I was like, "No, you're gonna stand there and watch me open this wheel." And I pulled out a laptop, installed SimHub 6.9, whatever it was, version was. And there was people behind me, because we're in the season, right? We're in the Christmas
Yeah.
season, and people are like picking up, gifts and stuff like that, and or want to ship out stuff to their loved ones. And I'm that
Yeah.
asshole that's over
Yeah.
here opening the Artura in front of them. And everybody was looking at it and I was like, what the hell is that? Is that a steering wheel? You got a McLaren? I was like, nah, man. I got
Got
many
something better.
cars, bro. I
I
got
got three
Porsches. I
McLarens.
got Lambos. I got I got Formula cars, bro. I'm
Whatever you want.
filthy, bro. You don't
Big
even
rig.
don't worry about the car outside. That's my daily driver. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
The
That's my running
Porsches,
around car. Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, long story short, it worked out. Wheel plugged in, worked right away out the box as it should. So I'm here to tell people, don't take no for an answer. After 30 something emails, I kid you not, I will screenshot it. I finally got through to an answer. I think they must hate me, the guys that, because I even had emails on schedule, like every
Oh yeah.
day at 9 o'clock in the morning. There
That's
was an email
hilarious.
being sent out that says status.
Yeah.
Where are we? Or as a different variations. I ain't got time
Yeah.
to be emailing these guys. I really don't.
Mm.
I'm the customer. You need to take care of me.
Hey.
Anyways, as far as the wheel,
Mm.
it is the most amazing wheel I've ever used. I'm not going to say it's my
Awesome.
favorite. My favorite thing
Yeah.
on the rig is still the active pedal. But what makes
Yeah.
this wheel special is the integration with the lovely dash. So I don't have the stickers yet to label these dials, but each of
Mhm.
these dials do an input. And I just want to showcase that because there's no other wheel on the market that does this. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
fully customizable. Some wheels allow you to switch a button or map something, but this right here, these
Mhm.
MFMs are reactive. So I'm gonna try and get her a little close. And I'm pulling
Yeah.
this from the rig. I hope I don't break this shit. And
Yeah.
I just got it. So um if I switch this dial, that's my deployment, my MGU, so my map, right?
Mhm.
So if, for example, this dial listens to the plus and minus buttons that you see up here. That's what this dial listens to. And this secondary blue dial, where are you?
Mhm.
I have my spotter volume, I have chat volume, I have button box. So let's say I want to change my volume there, and it tells me my game volume
Oh,
right
that's pretty
here.
dope.
And it's the
Yeah.
same button. So if I switch this, excuse me, if I switch this switch over to shaker, now I can control the volume of my butt kicker.
That's
Oh
dope.
yeah.
That's
Team
badass.
note. Team no sleep right there.
Team no sleep. Yeah.
So
I'm
it's
telling you.
12 dials. That's
Mhm.
times 2 times 4. So that's
Oh
48
yeah.
inputs just with these 2 dials and these 4 buttons. And then I
Yeah, it's
have these
insane.
guys. Dude, I'm telling you, it is amazing. It's a beautiful looking wheel. And as you can see, it's using DNR's profile. It's
Mhm.
listening to all my inputs and go ahead and cut the engine here. So
No, that's
highly
crazy.
recommended. Um, I just be careful if you're buying directly from Asher. I still
Yeah.
don't like the business practice. Things could have been done better. Um, they could have been done significantly better for the price of this expensive piece of equipment. And just pick a dealer that you trust because at
Yeah.
least the dealer is not going to let you down. And I think that was the best thing I could have done because if it wasn't for Murray Motorsport, and we're not sponsored by them, if it
Yeah.
wasn't for them, uh, good luck because I got an email from Asher saying that they're taking 2 weeks off on the 18th.
Oh
Oof.
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, they're taking 2 weeks holiday off, like the entire or I don't know, the people that were taking care of me, and they're already bad at communication to begin with. Imagine getting sent the wheel
Mhm.
replacement, bro. Yeah, be held to
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
there's a
man.
lesson there that if you're gonna order something from a company, make sure that that company's got good feedback with customer service because a lot of these times the manufacturer wants you to go through the company that you bought it from, not through the manufacturer. So,
Yeah.
just a word to the wise there when you're purchasing stuff, make sure that you're comfortable working with
Right?
that company that you're buying it from,
Yeah.
not necessarily the manufacturer.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, and it's a little more reassurance because you have a second layer. That's what saved me was that second layer. If I went directly with Asher, I've heard people that had some issues because nothing's perfect either,
Mhm.
and they didn't get a replacement for 3 weeks. So when I
It
heard
sucks.
that,
Wow.
I went hard, and now I'm bringing it on the show because it seems to be a common occurrence. I don't want to say it like that, but it seems to be happening lately. And if you're interested in one of these, the wheel itself is awesome. But if something's wrong with it or something don't work right, you need
Yeah.
to act quickly. You need to act quickly and you need to be firm when you talk to these people. That's all I got to say about the Asher. It's my favorite wheel. This wheel replaces my SimMagic GT Neo, and it's going to be my primary GT wheel slash LMP slash prototype, all that stuff. That's why it's got the deploy, the battery and all that stuff, deployment. Um,
You're gonna use that thing on Formula. Who are you kidding?
I thought about it, bro.
I know you did.
I thought about it. I
Yeah,
don't want to. I don't want to
I'm
turn my
telling you.
back on my CSX3,
I'm
man.
telling
That's
you.
gonna hurt. It's
Just
gonna hurt
just
my
put it on the
heart.
wall. Put it on the
Yeah.
wall and
She
let
is
it
on the
be.
wall,
She's
man.
gonna stay there, brother.
Mhm.
She hasn't been touched since I got this new PC too. Fuck.
Oh yeah. That's gonna continue, man.
You
Eric, you
might as
looking
well.
for a Formula wheel, bro?
Yep. Amen. I was about to say, man, I might have to talk to you about that.
we'll make a payment plans. Affirm. You know what I'm saying?
You
But
say
anyways, that's it for
Rivera
me.
pay?
Rivera Pay. That's right.
Yeah.
Chicane Pay. Chicane Pay,
Yeah.
bro. CP. So I don't know. Jeff, why did you put this in my head, bro? See now
it, it,
you
That's
make
I don't
wild,
know.
sense.
man.
You make
D-
Yeah.
sense. No,
Yeah, I
the Sim
mean,
Magic's definitely up for sale. That thing is up for sale. It was a good wheel to me. I had a few little issues with it, but I mean, if you look at the cost of the wheel and the materials, it kind of makes sense why a wheel would creak or make a noise or you
let's be
know
honest though. Like here it is. It's a hell of a wheel for the price.
yes.
It's a
uh
Yeah.
hell of a wheel.
Yeah. It's a
It is an awesome wheel.
yeah.
yeah.
I'd sell mine too. It's just I'm not gonna lie. I'm not ever taking my wheel off, no matter what I'm driving. So,
Yeah.
And you
but it's still
should,
a
man.
badass. It's still a badass wheel.
But it's a nice
Yeah.
showcasing thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
once you get some with a display in it, I'll join you guys one day, and I'll retire my Neo. But
I'm telling you, bro, when you got
until
that
then,
ignition off, just to remind you of what's going on, you hit that button, bro, and it's just like boom. See the rig? I
yeah.
love this
See,
thing.
I love it.
Anyway,
When I got my little, AMG with my name on it, and I turn
yo,
my
your
ignition.
we need to
yeah,
talk, Jeff. And if you can, for the people that use a lovely dashboard, how did you get that image so perfect, dude? Because I can't get it.
Bro,
I got
just like
gaps.
just like my
hours.
man Dan Newman says, it takes time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You resize the image, drop it in, load it, too big. Resize it, drop it in,
Oh,
send it. Dude, hundreds of times
oh,
to make it just
gonna
perfect.
throw up, bro.
And the ratio the
I'm gonna
size
be
that's
sick,
on
bro.
the lovely dashboard tab, it just didn't work for mine.
It doesn't
Yeah.
compute. So Constantinos, well, we might have a little conversation with Constantinos here
Well,
shortly.
in his defense, right? It depends on, like,
Yeah.
the one that fits your screen isn't gonna fit mine, so he can't really put
This
in
is
a,
true.
resolution to that would be good for everybody.
This is
Yeah.
true.
So,
Hmm.
and even if I
Okay.
told you my setting, it's not gonna work, right? Because we have different screen sizes, so
Yeah, I got a 6.8
Yeah.
and a 4.3. I think this is what that is. 4.3.
yeah. So you just
Um.
gotta,
Yeah.
test,
Got
resize it,
got a
drop it in.
tinker.
Tinker, yep.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I put this wheel through hell. I raced it on that M2 race, and
Mhm.
then did an hour and a half. So I raced it for almost 3 hours. And bro, I turned that force feedback. I turned it up to like 15, 16, just to stress the component, whatever. This thing is rock solid. Rock solid. Even
Nice.
when you lose control, have you ever lost control in your cars? And when the wheel's spinning out of control, you can hear like buttons clicking and clacking
Mm.
when you let go of it. This thing, bro, this thing, you don't hear anything. I heard the motor, which I never hear. It's like, oh shit, that's the motor doing that noise.
Oh man,
Yeah. So
that's
it
dope.
uses real buttons too. It's not like stickers or anything. Really high quality. I just wish that the customer service was a little better. That's all.
Yeah.
So
And hopefully you'll never have to talk to them again. And
I
that
hope
way
not, man.
the
Unless they
pleasure of
want to
using
send
the
us a
wheel can
wheel,
take over.
for review, definitely review some
Hey,
of them products if they want to send them over here.
hey,
And
if they want to get me off the Neo, they're more than welcome to. Okay,
the
we can
Neo's
do
still
that.
a great starter wheel, 100%.
I love it. Especially if you got more
It's
of a mid
comfortable.
tier.
That
Yeah,
was
if
the
you got
one
more of
thing
a
I loved
mid
about it.
tier wheelbase,
Comfy.
good size, 300 millimeter, great functionality, great support. With Sim Hub, great price.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Yeah, you can customize the
100%.
hell out of
still
it,
good
yeah.
wheel. Yep,
All
no
right, well,
complaints.
that's enough for me on the Asher, and over to Eric. I think is up next on the discussion portion. So if you guys have any questions, email the show, the Chicane
Yeah,
Podcast at Gmail. Comment, like, I mean, you don't have to like to ask a question, but like the video if you want. But
but might as well like if you're gonna ask a question.
if you're here, yeah, help
Yeah,
us out with a like. It'll help out
might
with
as
the
well.
And if it's
analytics.
your first listen, hey, we'll take a subscribe. It won't hurt.
There you go.
We'll take those too.
We'll take those two, or or
A
or
share.
there you go.
Yeah.
Any of those things. Tell your mom and them.
Yeah, if you have
Um,
any specifics about this one, let me know. I
yeah.
got hands on it, and yeah. So over to Eric.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we kind of touched on what I was gonna discuss a little bit, which was the league racing. That is one. New to iRacing. Doing the PC thing, and one of the things that I don't get to do very often is race with people that I know. Right. Even on DT7, I'll see familiar names, especially if I qualify. And, in my class, there are certain people that kind of I fall in line with. I'll see them, but we're not in the chat. I don't get to talk to them. And just kind of, I feel like that's the next piece that I'm missing, which is racing with people that I know, like being able to talk to them and kind of
Oh
experience the
yes.
race along with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On top of the benefits of, like you were saying,
The human part of it.
yeah, the
Got you.
human part, and then just people that kind of have a similar um, goal, like trying to race clean, trying to learn, trying to get faster, just having that connection.
Yeah,
So I just want to get you guys' opinion. I know you guys are for league racing, but do you still race? You know, I guess with I don't want to call them randoms, but with people that you don't know, or are you kind of racing a league
Go ahead, Jeff.
exclusively, basically?
Let's hear it, brother.
yeah. Race strictly off the iRacing open races.
Mm,
That are open to anybody. I will eventually figure out a league race that I can get into,
mm,
that works with my time frame, that my time schedule with work, where we live, time zones, my responsibilities to my kids, my family, wife, and stuff like that. Um, but to your point about racing with people, Jason, I think we've done maybe 2 races, to get we've been in 2 races together, and it's totally different. Like, when you
yeah.
know the people in the race, it's more fun, right? Because like, I know Jay if I can close on Jason, or I know he's behind me, it just adds a little bit of, uh, like, drama. I don't know if that's the right
Excitement,
word.
man. It's
Excitement,
exciting.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just, like Joey from Omaha that you're racing, like Jason down the
Where
road
do
is in
you
his
come
rig.
up with these
I don't know,
names
it just
and
comes to me,
locations?
bro. It
I
just
don't.
comes to me. And it's always like in the Midwest.
It's always
Um,
like in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere, like
yeah.
South Dakota or some shit. Like, no
uh,
offense to our South Dakota listeners or Ohio. What'd you say? Ohio,
Yeah.
I forget what I said.
Idaho,
Omaha,
or
yeah,
Omaha?
Nebraska. I think I said Omaha.
Yeah.
Um,
The hell's
but
in
yeah,
Omaha?
it's way better racing with people. And yeah, I'd love to get into a league. I just can't do it. Can't do it right now. But on that note, so this one of the races I did, it was yesterday, the day before. It was,
Mm.
like, the most polite race I've ever been in. People were like, as we're gridding, everybody's like, "Hey, everybody, have Merry Christmas, just keep it clean, first couple laps, no rubbin's not racing," and then we're racing and people, like, take each other out inevitably, but they're like, "Hey, my fault, totally my fault, I should have gave you more room." I'm like, where did this come from? Like,
Yeah,
I
where
was like,
am I?
this is the total opposite of how iRacing goes. Usually it's like, keep it clean, everybody in the first turn. And then 30 seconds later, everybody's cussing everybody else out for like, you idiot. It's like,
Oh,
it
that's
was,
the best part,
yeah,
bro.
it just was like the most
That's when
totally
I turned the
different.
chat up. I'm like, what the hell happened,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah. So,
Oh man.
Somebody
yeah, I wish
getting
I could do a
grilled
league
on
race.
track.
Yeah. I wish I could do a league race. It'll happen eventually. Just can't do it right now. Can't support it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jason, what about
Definitely
you,
So
buddy?
understand that.
I think that racing in the open lobbies is important because those are ranked races. League races are not ranked. So
That's true.
you can't progress. However, if you haven't been racing in a while, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, do I really want to jump in there with these guys right now and regret
Mm,
it 5 minutes in or 10 minutes in? So, league racing, at least league racing, you have nothing to worry about. Yes, you're
yeah.
trying to push and improve, but these guys are there for the same reasons. So it's kind of like you get to know them and you meet them,
Mm,
and you can tell like I was behind Vlad and I saw him spin out in the corner and I was like, what happened? And he's like, I don't know what happened to the car. Because the BMW is a beast.
yeah.
It gets
Yeah.
upset for any little thing. So,
Hmm.
which is good because that's what you need. You need to understand how to push the car, how to respect the car, and understand what it's doing. If you can get those three, you could drive any car on. You could drive any car. It'll be faster, way
Hmm.
earlier break points, or way later break points, but the turn-ins are the same, the corners are the same, you know,
Yeah.
carrying speed through the corner, that's the same thing over and over. So it's kind of like I saw him spin out, and then he's like, "Damn it!" He spun out, went off track, came back on track, and he's back fighting for positions back up. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
I'm looking after him now. So I'm kind of like, because I know Vlad. Well, I don't know Vlad. Vlad Vlad posted a question, and I don't know Vlad. He posted a question, and then we've been talking like almost daily on the Discord. Like he'll
Mm,
ask me about things, and I'm asking him about things, about rigs, about sim racing. And he was the one that told me, "Hey, Jason, you need to join this league race that's happening in 2 hours." I was like, "Bro, I literally just got the Artura plugged into the PC. I need
Break
to
that guy
test."
in.
That was the perfect setting. So I went in, and that's another thing, Eric. I'm gonna butt in a little bit and take over
mm,
your thunder just a second. I cannot stress enough. I'm gonna take it out of its case. I cannot stress enough, guys. If
mm.
you've been doing this for a while and you've racked up time in your rig, all those little settings that took you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, try doing that all over again from scratch. I wouldn't be able to manage it. Imagine that. So here comes this guy. You make yourself a rig backup. It's a small price to pay to get one of these and back up your settings. Sim Hub, back up your wheels, buttons, configurations. It took me 5 minutes to get the wheels back to where they were. Now the sims were a little different, but the
Mm.
wheels, it was instantaneous. It was quick.
Yeah,
And yeah, I felt the
so
pressure, dude, because I was like, one, I haven't raced the M2. Two, I drove maybe 2 laps around track with the car. Three, I was driving Alton Park, which was kind of gave me high hopes. I was like, okay, Alton Park. I've been on that track a lot, but I was on with a different car. I was
yeah.
racing GT3s, which is a totally different animal.
Yeah,
Very different. Very different. You can go hard on those cars and you can slam them in the corner.
yeah,
So I think I think, Eric, to answer your question, I think that as a sim racer, it's important to have both things, because Jeff is on a schedule. He's like, I want to be competitive, but I need to work with my schedule. Okay. So this is my option. But if he
mm,
could, he would join a league and have
100%.
that, yeah, and have that awesome time. You meet people. I need to figure
mm.
out a way to make you guys do it at least one time, so that way you can see all that goes in. Because these guys are doing this for
Yeah,
free. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'm down for it. Yeah, I kind of forgot about them since I built my PC, but you bringing it up earlier reminded me. That's why I'm like, I need the name of the league and make sure I hop in
Yeah.
the Discord and
And
join it.
literally, the
Yeah.
races on this league, it looks like a train. It looks like a snake, because they're all
Yeah,
in line. They're
They're that
all,
good, huh?
yeah, they're good. So
yeah.
they're really good. So they put me on the limit. I was on my
Mm,
limit the whole time, even though I don't know the car. I was
yeah.
slamming this car in the corners. I didn't lose the car. I think I lost it one
Nice.
time though. I think I
Oh,
lost it,
okay.
but it was a minor like slip. Like I
Oh,
slipped and
okay.
then I caught it, hit the
Yeah.
grass, got a 1X maybe. And then I had an incident with a guy that we were at mid corner and we just literally that soft. And iRacing is like, oh, 4X right away.
Yeah,
Or
sees no difference over a head-on collision.
contact. Yeah. Or sometimes it
Yeah.
gives you zero, which is weird. So I don't know. But
Mm.
yes, I highly recommend. And this has been, 51 cars on track. Do you know how crazy it is being in a chat room with 50 people? Just think
I
about
can't
that.
imagine. I
It,
can't imagine.
you know, and people getting into wrecks, and then you hear them getting into wrecks. Then crew
Them
chief comes
cussing.
on and tells you someone wrecked, and now you know who it is, and now you know what turn, and now you know what sector. That's what sim racing is all about. It's about the immersion of you being on a track, with other real life drivers. So
Yeah, I like it.
the one thing I don't support is the AI racing. Stay off AI.
Yeah,
Once you
never.
get comfortable, just bite the bullet. I don't think Jeff didn't even touch AI racing. He jumped straight in.
Yeah, I did
He
AI
dove.
race. I did like one AI race just to
And they talk shit too, right? Weren't they talking shit to you? The AI?
so my little AI crew talked shit to me after I lost. They was like, "That was an embarrassing performance, Eric." I'm like, "Wait a minute,
I'm
am
paying
I
for
paying your
this?
salary?"
I
Yeah,
know.
like,
You see the
but
charge come up on the statement, like,
it's
and
like
that's
we're
what
getting
I paid
charged to get
for. Like,
shit talk.
Yeah, I
But
think the first couple races AI just to know the mechanics of like, hey, what
or an
is the
empty
red
track.
yeah,
Yeah,
what is the red light's gonna look
yeah,
like? You know, when's it gonna go green? You know, it's
yeah,
not like a F1 race where they go, red, 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 they just go out.
right.
yeah,
Like things like that. I totally understand doing a couple AIs just to kind of get the mechanics of it. But
yeah.
yeah,
And that was pretty much what I did. Did an AI race because obviously going from GT7, iRacing is like the elephant in the room. Is like, well, unless you know how to race on iRacing, you don't really know how to race. So just to kind of see, like, can I control? Like, let me race a car on a
Oh, that's
track
a good
that I'm
question
used
for you,
to.
Eric. Now that you've been back and forth, right?
Mhm.
What what are you seeing different, bro? Like, um,
Mm.
what do you
So,
and what is your preference? Those are my two questions for you because that's we hadn't touched that with you. Um, it's been a while.
huh. Yeah. So I'll try to keep it quick. Racing and iRacing was is not as difficult, but it's solely because of the latest update they did to GT7 a while back. Before then, it would have been very difficult. Um, but it was almost like a baby step because they did change the tire models. They changed the suspension model in GT7, and it required like people would just be driving a straight line after that update and just spin out like dry track because it was a little bit more realistic. Like
Mm,
you couldn't just slam the brakes. It wasn't like you were on rails. Granted,
right.
it is more like to your point. You mentioned it before. Even just watching the replay, you're like, "There's no way that grip works there." And being able to get in the car and go on the same track and be able to look at like, well, in GT7, this is my breaking point.
It just looks
Well, I gotta
planted to
move.
me.
I gotta move that back. I gotta peel off, save off a little bit more speed. I have to even just the gearing affects the cars
Mm,
differently in
yeah.
iRacing. That was one of the biggest things I noticed. But going between the two, to your point, Jeff, if I'm just in GT7, I struggle. But if I hop in iRacing and I do some races or do some laps, and I go to GT7, like when I won that race, I had just came out of iRacing, and I literally just hopped in,
So
and
you're applying techniques that you
it's
kind of picked up or just kind
it's
of fit.
more it's more. I don't say with GT7 you can be lazier when you're racing, but with iRacing it just requires more
Oh
control.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
going into GT7 from iRacing, it is I'm not gonna call it arcadey, but it's a lot more forgiving when you're
okay.
Mm,
racing. So you
It's
can race
interesting.
fast. It's easier to race faster in GT7. I'll say that.
It's interesting that you said you won the race in GT7 after you were done iRacing. You just jumped in. That
Yeah.
like you
Like
made
no quality,
the that's
no
why
laps. I
like you.
just
It's not like you were so
he's
finely
just
tuned to the
waltz in.
settings and the tire model that was in GT7. You were like back
yeah,
and forth. That's cool, man. I would have never
yeah,
thought it would be that way. I would the total opposite, right? Uh,
yeah.
different
Well,
And
handling characteristics,
ve-
different set.
yeah,
All of the things and good for you. Tip my hat to you.
I agree with
yeah,
Good
Jeff
work.
because, dude,
thank you.
um, if I jump into ACC and I try to pull, there's a lot of there's a very fine line where ACC and they're breaking the system the way it works.
So I'll say it's interesting because like driving ACC is definitely different. Like ACC to me is very like strong force feedback's very strong. Cars like you feel the weight of them. It's ACC is almost like a different style
Yes,
of just sim,
still
but
fun, still
yeah,
love it.
still fun.
Oh, it's
But
awesome.
GT7 feels almost like a baby iRacing, just in the tire model and the braking. Like if I do things in iRacing and I go to GT7, they pay dividends in GT7.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
and yeah, go ahead, Eric. Sorry, I
No,
just
that
something
was
something something came to me right now. I wanted to
yeah.
mention is that the new debris update is
Oh,
crazy,
that's next. That's totally
bro.
that between that and cars
w-
not ghosting in iRacing like
we
they do in GT7.
the
When I
entire
see
race there was the biggest
yeah.
mess on the track,
Oh
and
man.
you taking the patch, I'm feeling the patch in the wheel. I'm
Do you
like,
guys
what the
see more
yo,
exhaust coming out of the cars too?
yeah. What do
In
you
the
mean?
Formula
Mm.
in F4, I'm seeing like puffs of smoke out the back of the cars, it
No,
seems
that's the
like.
dust. That's debris, Jeff.
Yeah,
It,
that well,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
so
in the
dust,
air.
smoke, yeah, exhaust or whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like I was like, "What is that?" It's like,
yeah,
"Oh,
and
it's
Yeah.
so
them going over the pebbles on the road or
or
whatever
the
it is, I guess,
gravel
the
or
dust,
something,
the gravel." Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
It'll pick up in the arrow and the diffusers and like get thrown
That's
around
wild, huh?
and
So when you
everything.
have
Yeah.
50 cars in Alton Park, things kind
Mhm.
of, they kind of change a little bit. So,
Yeah.
and you have people spinning out, then there's all this dirt. And I was just really careful not to hit the brake at a certain, I
Mm,
would brake a lot harder, but I'm seeing the rocks on the road and I'm like, I can't brake, I can't stop here. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to lift. So it's
Mm.
dynamically changing how you're racing in the is bro. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, they keep doing it. They keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's dope, and the track conditions carry over. So let's say Jeff is a great qualifier. So I'm gonna put myself in the seat. Me and Jeff were qualifying. Jeff usually qualify. He's a good qualifier. For some reason, I don't know. I'm lazy to qualify because I have an empty track. When I have other people, I get in the zone. I zone in. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
But let's say I lost control, and that was in the quali. That same debris carries over into the race. So you're on grid, and there's rocks on the track already. There's dust and stuff.
That's
Is
hilarious.
freaking,
that's wild.
and it's
Yeah.
a free update. It made zero nothing to my performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It did nothing, which
It
is
seemed
I don't
like it
know how they
would.
did it.
Yeah. It seems like that would take a hit or require some more resources, but
CPU definitely all that.
yeah. But the particles like processing that stuff real time, keeping it on the track, storing it in memory, it doesn't do it. It doesn't make a difference. It's crazy.
Yeah. I took just a hair of a performance, but it's hard because I did the image boost thing that you do right at this right
Yes,
before
you lose
the
about
update went.
10, maybe 8 FPS for
Yeah, that was
using
about it.
a
Mm.
reshape, but I'll take that and
Oh,
make
it
the
looks
game look.
amazing. I mean, yeah, it looks nice.
Well, if you guys are getting 80 frames, anything over 80 frames is really irrelevant. Though I cannot see past that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It and we're racing. It's not like we're playing Call of Duty where you're like
Yeah. It's not
spinning,
twitchy. Yeah. Not
twitchy.
twitchy and not, you know.
It's fast, it's consistent, but
Yeah.
it's not jerky movements like this because that's when you will notice if something's lagging or not. But
It helps
Yeah.
peripherals. Their side screens make it
that
nice.
too, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I can see that. You know,
Yeah.
that's where
or
you
it's
get
just
the
overall smoother. It's overall smoother, but
Yeah.
still, at 90 plus, you're good to go. Don't worry about it. Turn the
Yeah.
limiter off. Don't look at it. Just
Yeah.
just have
Because
fun.
once you're going, 150, 200 miles an hour, everything's a blur anyway. So don't
Exactly.
really matter.
It doesn't really make a difference. But all right,
Yeah.
Eric, that's good
Yeah.
question, good
That's my
discussion.
yeah.
Uh, Jeff,
all
you're
right.
up next, bud.
We've had a couple we've tiptoed around this topic the last couple episodes. I want to talk a little bit about USB devices. More specifically, what you guys are using to like how are you what are you deciding to choose to plug into your PC directly? And then what are you choosing to plug into? I'm assuming Jason, I know you have a hubs on hubs on hubs for USBs. And your new CPU has, gajillions of USBs directly. But what are you guys deciding to put directly to the PC and then into your
A
hub?
hub.
Yeah, so I'm curious. I know what I do, and I kind of follow guidelines. It's not just picking onesie twosies, but I want to hear what you guys have to say, and then I'll kind of go. Jason, why don't we start with you, being the man that has 45 USB devices? I don't know how many
40.
you have, but it's it's
It's around it's around 30-ish, but okay. So here's the thing with USBs, right? What's more important to you? If I'm gonna lose connection or something's gonna go wrong, I don't want to lose my wheel or my pedals. because that's what makes me go. I can lose my screens, I can lose my audio controller, I can lose my monitor, my top monitor, or whatever. You know what? Well, monitors at USB, bad example, but you know what I'm trying to say. DDU.
Yeah.
Stream
I
Deck,
I
yeah,
don't
anything.
I don't want to
Yeah.
lose control of the car because of a fault. It's I'm gonna go ballistic. First of all, I'm gonna lose my shit. Right? It's gonna be bad. So wheel
Yeah.
pedals need to be directly connected, and most of our hardware is designed around the USB 2.0 protocol. And I know a lot of computers have USB 3.0, which supports higher bandwidth, and they have a compatibility mode to convert, right? Anything you plug into a USB 3 should it will work with a USB 2. However, talking to Nicola from the Sim Hub guy, I've had many problems trying to equalize system load, right? And not overload a hub or a port, or because motherboards share data. Sometimes they share data via two channel. Sometimes they're one channel. Sometimes they're two channel. Some motherboards use data bandwidth from your GPU slot, which can
Yeah.
affect performance. So you got to know what kind of motherboard you got. You got to know what what are these USBs really rated at, because under certain conditions, like if you put an SSD or if you put two SSD, well, that's going to downgrade your speeds on your USBs, because now the system will even out the load for you.
Yeah.
But now you're adding more shit to it that's going to even bog it down even more. So to make, and I know I nuked this, but I'm a guy that's just have been super anal on getting every single cable labeled and what port does it need, 3.0 or 2.0. And that's what I got this new board. Thank God I found a board that has enough data that can feed all these devices and not care or give me any type of issue or whatever. So
Yeah.
in a nutshell, the pedals, obviously the wheelbase, right? You don't want that to fail.
What
So
about your
wheelbase,
DDU? Or
DDU
excuse
is
me, your direct drive base.
yeah, the base, the steering wheel, and the pedals.
Okay.
Those are the three. Everything else is
Nice
fluff.
to know. Okay.
Yes.
Nice to
Oh,
have.
okay. I
Okay.
do want to add something. If a device you're using has a screen, or has an LED, anything that sucks power, that looks bright, that you can control, that you can literally turn up the brightness on, that needs to be on a hub. So that way that hub can give it the consistent voltage that it wants, or wattage. So
Mm.
that's how I would do it.
Okay.
Oh.
Eric, off to you. How do you have
So
yours organized?
mine will be short and sweet. Um,
Okay.
I have 4 USB devices. I got a wheel, I got pedals, I got a
Room to
base,
grow,
Four.
brother.
and I
Room
got
to grow.
haptics.
That's all right.
So I just choose from one of the 12 USB ports on my motherboard. But to Jason's point, though, kind of decide between the USB 2.0 or 3.0 ports. Um, I haven't noticed a difference just because I haven't ran into that bottleneck issue that does exist, where you might kind of pull some bandwidth from your GPU slot or your M2 slot or something like that. Um, yeah, that's pretty much my setup, all to the motherboard.
Okay. All right. Um, I
And
also want to go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say there's nothing wrong with having stuff connected to the motherboard like that. I mean, it's just you'll see Eric 4 is gonna turn into 5, 6, 8,
Oh yeah, I got
12,
plans.
15.
I got plans, the
Yeah,
man
yeah.
says.
I wanted
But
to. I wanted to turn into about 12 right now.
Got to get through Christmas. Got to get through the
Got to
holidays.
get through Christmas, man. Got to
I
get
hear
through
you, buddy.
Christmas.
Also, I think Jason, you gave me a bunch of advice getting into this, but two of them that you gave me that I think is I don't want to say valid, but I would echo to everybody as you grow is to do not cheap out on two things. Well, we say don't cheap out on a handful of things, but other things that I want to echo here is get a good USB powered hub. Don't get
Mm.
the $99 one or $99.99 on Amazon.
The dollar
Spend
store
yeah,
ones.
spend some cheddar and get a good
Yeah.
powered one. Jason, you showed yours that you're using. I have a similar one, a hand me down from you. Get a good powered USB hub and use that. And then the other thing that you told me don't cheap out on is a surge protector with power. The plugs built in. Get a good one, um,
Yes.
and that's paid dividends. So
Yes, bro.
anything else you guys like to add about the USBs?
Sabrin is what my high recommendation. I can comfortably say that right here all day. Sabrin is the only hub that I will buy. I have a 16 port Sabrin and is an absolute beast of a freaking. It's 90 watts. This thing alone. So
Man,
I
it's
mean,
crazy. Yeah.
it's 90 watts, and at first I was like, "Do you need it?" No, but you might need it later. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying go out and buy that one, but a nice
So
12 or 14 or 10 port,
so I s just a quick question, does the Saber that you have allow you to control power to, like, individual USBs or banks of them?
Yes. So
Okay.
you can have. So I'll give you a quick breakdown, very very quick. So I
Alright.
have this is the back of my rig. I have a 16 port right behind the center, and that has all the juiciest, beefiest, the DDUs, all the things that love to suck power on that. Then I have one off to the side, which is my streaming and my cameras. And then I
Mm,
have one to the front. It's a 4. I highly recommend you guys pick that up. Why? You literally glue it to the side of your post on your rig, and it has 4 buttons on the side, and you can plug stuff in. So if I want to turn the wheel off, some wheels don't have switches. This
mhm.
wheel doesn't have a switch, but with that button, I could just touch a button and it turns off the wheel.
That's
So
nice.
sometimes you put your computer to sleep and things might stay on. Has that ever happened to you? Like
Right now.
things stay lit up.
Yeah,
I know. I've been there. I'm telling you. I
yeah.
it's
That's why I was asking. I saw that
get
on
the damn
Facebook, and I
hub,
was like,
pay
"I
the
never
it's
thought
like,
about that."
yeah, man, $20 and you always have a hub in front of you too. Like let's say you want to jump into your BIOS on your computer to make a setting. BIOS doesn't use Bluetooth, bro. So if you
Mhm,
have a Bluetooth keyboard, you're kind of messed. You kind of screwed. But you can plug it in right there into your front port. Or if you want to connect a USB pen drive for something, it's just a convenience. I think it's like
yeah,
$15, bro. I can post a link in here.
yeah,
Someone's gonna
I
make
need
some
that.
money with this affiliate, but I
Yeah.
don't have it. But I mean,
Yeah,
highly recommend any of their products. And if you go on Etsy, they make brackets specifically for the Sabrent
yeah,
hubs
yeah, I've seen
for
them.
80/20. So
Yep.
yes, to answer your question, Eric, go buy one right now.
Got you. Appreciate it, man.
All right, Jeff. It's that time of the week, bro.
Yeah, buddy, let's get after it.
It's
It's
that time of the week. And what did we come up with? I'm curious. What did
y- yeah, we had I think we talked about it. Vlad made a comment and asked gave two recommendations and I picked Long Beach GP track or Grand Prix track, I guess is the name of it. But without further ado, let's get into this track of the week here and we'll get through it. Super interesting history here. Being that this is kind of like the first road course that we've talked about.
dude?
Um,
Mm,
Wow.
yeah.
Look at us.
so this is the current day layout here. So we'll start here as I kind of get into this. Let me see if I can get back further. But anyways, I'm gonna start into this. This is a really interesting story. So there's this
Wow.
dude, Chris Pook, who is he's a gearhead, motorsports enthusiast, but he's also a travel agent. And this is in the 1970s, and he has an idea to bring a road street race to Long Beach. but it's, Long Beach is kind of like in the shadows of Los Angeles and San Diego, and it's kind of run down. The really only thing that it has kind of going for it, I guess, is this Queen Mary cruise liner that's been permanently docked as a floating hotel and casino. So this
Hmm.
dude has the idea. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna make this city the Monaco of the West Coast of the United States." Um,
Oh.
bold move, Cotton. But anyway,
Yeah.
so this dude convinces the city council to allow a street race in the downtown area close to the beach. First events in 1975, and they run Formula 5000 cars. Formula 5000, I looked it up what they look like. They just kind of look an old school Formula One, Indy car, kind of smushed down a little bit. But that could just give you an idea of the car, what the car looked like in 75 when they raced it.
Long nose, right?
Yeah,
Front.
like big,
Mhm.
tall hood scoop behind the driver's head.
Oh,
But
yeah.
dude, they got 46,000 spectators the first race.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Damn.
That's nuts.
I figured that's pretty impressive. But here,
Yeah.
dude, listen to this. This is
And they didn't have that social media back then. Imagine if they got the
yeah.
word out.
And
So
he had color TV.
they didn't have a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um, so this dude's like, "Hey, that was great," but Pook says like, "Hey, I want to get Formula One here." In 6 months later, it hosts its first Formula One race, and Clay,
Dang.
I'm gonna butcher this dude's name. Clay Ragazzi wins it in the Ferrari.
Of
So
course.
yeah, so I think what in maybe just over the year
He
turning into
dominated, bro. Ferrari was
1976, they have the first F1 and they're on the circuit. So fast forward about 5 to 10 years. So in the mid 80s, the cost of moving these F1 cars in the circuit to Long Beaches just became unrealistic. And to take the sanctioning fees of the city was just too much and it was unrealistic. So they dropped Formula One from their calendar, along with some codes that the city had. Um, but they picked up the IndyCar series, took it on from there. And Indy held its first GP in 1984, where Al
Hmm.
Unser Jr. has won it 6 times since, including 4 in a row. We don't talk a lot about IndyCar, so it's kind of cool that we're hitting
Hmm.
it here because I'm sure some of our listeners drive or are interested in IndyCar. Uh, well, Mario notched up two more victories, and his son has also won one. Mario Andretti or Michael Andretti. So here's where
Hmm.
it gets interesting because Monaco, I think, is like the most famous street course, if you will. I think
Mhm.
that's my opinion, maybe, but I can't think of anything that's the one that's
Oh
more
yeah.
famous.
I agree,
Um,
man. Most
and
Yeah,
Monaco,
iconic.
same here.
yeah, in Monaco's for the most part remain unchanged, right? And honestly, I think to the detriment of the F1 race, like it's by far the most boring
I
F1
mean,
race on the calendar,
there's
right? It's
not
all
much
about
to change,
qualifying.
bro. They don't really have the
Yeah,
space.
you can't move buildings. So here's where it gets interesting with the Long Beach circuit is because the race grew the city, they had to start moving the track around the city as it got bigger. So the growth of the race built the local economy, the downtown area, real estate wise, forcing the track to make a number of changes. The development of land surrounding the areas necessitated circuit changes over the years. Here, I'll click through some of the changes that you guys can see here on the what I'm sharing.
Mhm.
So it started off, kind of, I guess the right side of the track if you're looking at it from the sky. Um, but the paddocks and excuse me, the pits and paddock have changed.
Hmm.
Now that they moved them from the original location to onto Ocean Boulevard. I think that's the long bending straightaway that you see there. Then there's been substantial elevation changes on Lindell Avenue, and then that added the tight hairpin turn here at turn 13.
Hmm.
Then the pits were moved to Shoreline Drive, adjacent to the traditional starting line here. If I can jump ahead to the more current tracks here. So here, further down the straightaway, and the last major change. Here's where it gets interesting, right? Because I think the landmark for uh, Long Beach, the last major changes have been into Turn 1 area, redevelop the marina, requiring the track diversion, including going around the fountain and later a roller coaster. So, my first
Oh.
time running Long Beach in iRacing. I'm driving around. I'm like, "Oh, there's a water fountain in the middle of the track." So yeah, they built that
Yeah.
around the marina area, and the GP was like, "Well, it's here. We got to go around it." So it's just kind of interesting that you have Monaco on one hand who's telling everybody that races here, "Hey, deal with it. We're not doing anything." And Long Beach is kind of you know uh, the GP is like, "Hey, we've been with the city long enough. We're gonna make our track fit the city." So it's super
Yeah.
interesting. In 2015, uh, Formula E had its championship race there, which
Oh, okay.
unfortunately that was the only year it stayed there for the championship and it's gone. But that was probably the one. I don't want to say the biggest, but interesting that Formula E ran there. They ran a smaller track. They had to make it smaller because of the electric motors, or excuse me, the electric battery didn't have the length, I guess, to you know put
It
out for
couldn't
that
make
long.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just super interesting. The track doesn't have the history of like World War II built into it, but the fact that this dude Chris Pook back in 75 had an idea, and really like, dude, like this dude
Yeah,
should
that's
have a
crazy.
statue in the
Yeah.
city and keys to the city for what he's like done. I don't want to say it was only the race, but this had a huge impact on, the 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 city, the real estate, the development. Um, and it's a huge stop in
Yeah, it brought
the IndyCar racing
45,000
series now. Um,
people.
what's
That's a
that?
lot of
Yeah.
people. It brought 45,000 people, right? The
Yeah, the first
spectators.
race.
Yeah. Out the gate is
That's
So
crazy.
crazy.
it is
Yeah.
interesting. It is only 1.98 miles long. That's a
Hmm.
pretty short F1
It
track. So I
doesn't
don't know
feel
what
like
Indy
that,
does.
bro.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
like
It really didn't.
It don't feel like that at all.
I
Nope.
don't know what an Indy car track normally is. I think for a formula race, that's a pretty short track. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, not even 2 miles." Um, but,
Hmm.
to prep for this, I got into the track and I jumped in the Super Formula 23 car, and let me tell you, that is not the car to drive on this track to learn it. Yeah, so over here on turn 10, as you're coming down the straightaway here, out of 7 into 8, and you're slamming on the brakes from a straightaway to get the car straight, and you're just hanging on as you kind of come into 9 and 10 to the hairpin. 10 turn 10 in the Super Formula car is like you come out of 9 and you're on the left wall and you turn the
Mhm.
wheel as hard as you can, and that turn is about as tight a turn as you can make in that car. You're going from the wall on your left wheel to the wall in the right wheel, and there's
Yeah.
nothing else when the steering wheel's pinned together. So, super interesting track. Driving it in the
Yeah.
sim is challenging because it's a street course. There's walls all the way around the track. There's no runoff. There's I think turn 2 has a runoff. But if you're gonna do track limits, you're gonna hit the wall. It's
Mhm.
it's tight racing, gentlemen. Any you guys got any experience racing it?
Yeah, man. I think I raced F4 race there.
I think they do. Yep.
Um F4, and I've also taken the what you call GT4 cars. I like to bring on that track, like the the AMG Mercedes.
Oh, nice.
Um and it's a very fun track. It's super fun. Like
Yeah.
the pit lane, it looks like the street. Have you noticed that? It looks like
Yeah.
you're in the
No
middle of the
kidding. Like you're like
you're like,
drops
am
you
I
off, and
in
I'm
the
like,
pit lane?
did
What
it
the
drop me off
heck?
in like some random street? Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
first turn is like confusing if you're not ready for it. You're like, where do I need to go?
Oh, because like that's the turn. Like I think it's technically 2 has the runoff. But if you don't know that the track has the runoff,
You're
you're
just
just
gonna
going straight into like the bear. Like eventually, you're like, where? Look, there ain't no turn here.
I'm not gonna
Like
lie, dude. That's when I
it's
first tried it, dude. That was me. I had to physically remind myself, there's a left turn
there's a
here,
left
bro.
turn here. Yeah. And then
Seriously.
the fountain comes right up on you. Yeah,
The
it's just cool
fountain, yeah, it's crazy, dude.
that the fountain's right there in
The
turn
random
3, and
ass
you can see
fountain.
the roller coaster right as you come around turn 2.
Mhm.
It's cool. It's cool. And then in iRacing, I was in there practicing this week just to kind of get a feel for the track of the week. And they have the Bubba Burgers, banners on here. Then
Oh, snap.
sure enough,
Mm.
they have the Bubba Burger. I don't know if they have a relationship or a sponsor for the Long Beach track or Long Beach GP. But it's just interesting tidbit for you. But uh, interesting, dude. Like this guy just was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it'd be cool to have a race here, and convinced the local mayor to let it happen. And
man.
look at that, it has a huge economic impact to the city.
Yeah, that's crazy. They was able to get that together.
Yeah, Indy
But
stops there. It's a big race for Indy. Now that I like want to watch, figure it out when Indy is going to hit there and give it a watch.
Or
yeah,
bring it
that'll be
back to
fun.
Formula, dude. I would love to watch a Formula race on this.
That'll be
It's got to be
chaos.
nuts, bro.
Yeah, be
This-
chaos.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because turn one's that straightaway, but it's a turn like with a bend. It's a cool track. It's a tough track. It's super challenging, very
Yeah,
unforgiving.
yeah.
they
Hard to
do
go
they have
fast on
this
there.
on GT7, Eric?
I didn't see it on there. I looked at it on iRacing. Um, just kind of glanced at it and
You gotta
watched some
buy it, bro.
video
You
of
gotta
it.
buy it. So
Yeah,
many things for you to buy.
exactly. Like I put it, it's added onto my ever growing wish list of stuff I'm gonna buy.
Which reminds me, Jeff, I don't know if you want to take the honors of this, but um, that day's coming, Christmas, and you're a new iRacer. So Jeff and I decided that we're going to support you.
Welcome you to the iRacing family.
Yes.
Oh man.
And you can't I don't want to hear about GT7. You better not cash this shit in and buy like some money on GT7. That's gonna
Oh no.
I'll be heartbroken.
So
Heartbroken.
so I to our earlier comments about or question about difference between iRacing and GT7. After paying for GT7, I spent $0 on it. None for years, for hours of racing. That's one
That's all
huge
right, man.
difference.
But you're
But
growing up. You know what I'm saying? You're growing up. You're becoming a
yeah,
man
man.
now, and you becoming.
Yeah,
So Jeff and I had a discussion, and we don't have physical cards because this is iRacing. But
man.
the next airing of this episode is post Christmas, so we wanted to do it, you know, while we still got you here. So
Man, I
uh,
appreciate that,
there's gonna
man.
be something hitting your box here very shortly and
Momentarily.
momentarily.
Uh Man, I don't care what
And
anybody
then
says about y'all. Y'all cool with me, man.
so
Anybody say something bad about y'all, they got a
Nah,
problem with
man,
me.
that's all
we're
right.
pumped for you. We're happy you got
That's
a
all right, man.
PC.
Hey, but we always helped each other
Yeah,
out. Jeff's helped me out. We all collaborate together. That's what we do in the sim
yeah,
racing community. It doesn't matter if it's with money or if it's with helping build something or helping someone out on the phone with something.
yeah,
Help is help. That's how I look at it. So
yeah,
it'll
exactly.
be my pleasure to give you my side and my recommendation. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna let Jeff recommend. He's probably gonna tell you to buy a fucking Formula car, man. Get out of here. Listen,
Hey, man.
that
And I,
McLaren GT3. Listen,
yeah,
that
yeah,
the McLaren, or you already got the BMW, which is kind of nice. You're on your way, bro, to road
yeah. We got the
racing. But
BMW, got the Ferrari.
oh, you got a Ferrari.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe check out a P car. If you want like a prototype to mess around with.
Or the
yeah.
maybe the F4 car? What?
The F4 car. You know what? I was talking shit, Jeff. I retract my previous statement. Get the F4 car,
I
hundred
don't know.
All right.
percent.
Is it
You're gonna love this car. It's
I don't know if
I'll
it's
get
so
free
the
or not.
planted. No, it's not free.
No.
I get
Of
the
course it
F4
ain't,
car.
bro. Nothing.
Anyways, well,
iRacing.
anyways, man, you do what you want with it. You're a good
I say
friend.
buy tracks, bro. Tracks, all the way.
Yeah,
You're a good
if y'all
friend,
got
good man,
suggestions,
good dad.
yeah, I appreciate that, man.
No,
I do, man.
hey,
Uh,
listen, we ain't getting emotional on this show, man.
no,
Don't
man,
do
just
that.
giving y'all flowers,
Eric,
man.
I know you had a few drinks already, man. So, hey, calm
Not
down, bro.
not a few, just one nice size one, but
Okay,
you know.
okay. I know.
But
I'm
yeah,
just
man.
speculating, and you kind of just told me that you had
Yeah.
a drink. Well, all
Yeah.
right. Nothing wrong with that. It's the holidays.
Yeah, right. Hey, I'm in the spirit, man.
There you go.
We
He's in the
wrapping it
spirit.
on up. But yeah, man. But I
So,
appreciate you guys, man. I always enjoy
Jeff,
hopping
thank
on
you
and
so much for the coverage on the track.
talking with
That
you.
was good.
Yeah.
the Long Beach track is dope. I mean, I would say for anyone new getting into iRacing, this is what I'm gonna. This is my roundtable, and then I'll pass it on to you guys.
Mm.
Go over, and I'll leave the link in the description to the iRacing Buyer's Guide,
Mm.
irbg.net, and there is a calculation. We just started a brand new season. They're gonna tell you what tracks are being run the most. And remember, with road tracks, they work on formula, Eric. So if you
Okay.
have, so unless you're going over to NASCAR,
Mhm.
then you're gonna have to buy some different types of very different purchases. But
Mhm.
road and formula, they share almost the exact same, you know, tracks with
Okay.
very few exceptions. And even then, you buy a Nürburgring and it comes with like 6 configurations for you to choose from. So you don't just buy one track, you're
Uh,
buying
yeah,
6
that's
tracks.
true. Yeah.
So, go on that website, check it out, and then buy what you want too, man. Cuz I bought a
Yeah.
499P and I'm not
Yeah.
racing that thing, but I wanted it just because of the way it sounds when you brake. So, over to you
Yeah, I
guys,
saw that.
round table.
Yeah.
That I swear to God, that was the only reason why I bought
That's
the
funny.
car.
Hey, but hey, hey, if you like it, man, we
Hey,
love it.
I got some enjoyment out of it. It was
Yeah, man.
$10 of enjoyment. Yes, sir.
Hey, hey,
Was it worth
$10 don't
it?
go
Probably
very
not.
far
Man,
nowadays,
we
man.
bought we spent $10 on stupider shit, right?
Exactly.
I was waiting for the Starbucks comment,
No, I didn't
but
say it. Nope.
Nah,
was
nah,
Starbucks is bumping up the
nah. Drinking
prices. That's the
Starbucks,
problem.
man. Hey, they keeping up with everybody else. Everything expensive nowadays, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, as far as for me for Roundtable, I have nothing. Just happy holidays, guys, and we it's been a fun ride so far. We appreciate y'all support, tuning in, listening, commenting, you know,
Yes,
subscribing, liking, sharing. It's an awesome community. Happy to be
it
a part of
is.
it.
It
Yeah,
is. It's one of the least toxic communities I've ever been in, honestly.
yeah,
And there's a lot of communities out there, social media, and sim racing is by far the
yeah.
most arms open. Like, hey, you want to
Facts.
get into this? Oh,
Yeah,
come here. Let me talk to you.
yeah. Having
You
having a
know,
YouTube channel for,
I will never
man.
make
I
you
guess.
spend money. Never.
Hold on. You're doing good, Jason. You're doing good.
I never told Jeff to buy anything. I didn't tell him
uh,
to buy nothing.
uh, I
No,
think I
my
think Daniel would say differently,
Oh
along with
shit.
everybody else.
Daniel's gonna come after me now. Thanks a lot,
Yeah,
Eric.
man. But yeah, man. But yeah, least toxic. Like I said, having a YouTube channel for almost, I guess, over 10 years now in tech and
Damn, bro, it's
reviewing
been
other
that.
stuff. It's been
When the
that
hell
long,
did
man.
10 years happen, bro?
Hey, man. We having fun. Time flies.
Do you know
I
how
tell
much
you
shit's
this.
changed in 10 years, Eric?
Yeah, I've looked at some of my old videos. There's a lot of stuff has changed. But yeah, man. Yeah, to
Damn,
your point,
bro.
great community, and I'll pass
Yeah.
it on to Jeff.
All
no,
right. All
just
right.
yeah, I just want to say happy holidays to everybody. I think just to as we kind of do save rounds and alibis, Daniel Newman wrote some comments to help us set the record straight in our last video. Please jump in there, check them out. We just want to be transparent with everybody else. But other than that, happy holidays, everybody. Drive fast and brake late, and spend some time with the family. Your friends, etc. Take a minute, just appreciate everything we got this year. And gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Doing this weekly with you guys, and thanks to our listeners for everything else, and wish our listeners a happy new year, happy holidays, etc.
Yeah,
Wow. That is a
awesome.
good point. Thanks, Jeff and Eric. And thanks for bringing that save round alibi because there was we did get a fact checked a little bit. I mean, and it's on me. I got overly excited as I always do. But I just want everybody to try things. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to just commit to something. I really want you to try them because when I try something and I find enjoyment and it excites me, I want that same feeling for Eric and Jeff. And I want you to see why. I want you to go in
Mm,
there and turn this button on and it does this. And I want you to use it so you can kind of see why I like this thing. And
yeah,
the reason why that's valuable is this that's how we share. That's how we exchange information. And that's
Mhm.
how this community will grow and continue to grow. And it's because of that. Discord, you can ask Jeff. Jeff was like, "What the hell is Discord?" I was like, "Bro, I don't know. I didn't know either." I'm not gonna pretend I got it. Now Discord, I can't be without a Discord. I have a Discord here on the studio, the computer, the phone. It's everywhere. So,
Yeah.
and that's our link connection. So, with that, guys, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. I don't want to say Happy New Year yet. I think that's a little early for that, but
Yeah.
I mean, we always say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Maybe it's the last time you're tuning in for the holiday. I know people taking time off. Don't forget, I highly stress. Don't forget about making the time for the family. It's that time of year, and it comes once a year. So sim racing will be
Yep.
there. Unless there's an update on something, I might sneak away, to install it real quick and see what the hell is this thing about. But other than that, priorities, family, movies. Don't forget about your movies, guys. I just watched Gremlins the other day. It's one of my favorites. So be careful with the kids with the Gremlins, dude. They're killing and smashing and doing all kinds of shit. Anyway, with that, guys, have a great start of your week. Thank you so much.